Hello, welcome to our channel Evolve with English. In today's video, we are going to learn about Class 7th English Honeycomb story The Ashes That Made Trees Bloom by William Elliot Griffis. It is a Japanese story in the good old days of daimyos. Who is daimyos? Daimyos are wealthy landlords from Japan in 19th century. So, in those days, there lived an old couple who had only pet as they don't have their own child. They love their beloved pet dog as a being with a soul. A being with a soul means like a human kid with emotions. They loved their dog very much. The name of the dog was Muku. The old dame made the cushion out of crepe for Muku. Muku used to sit on that cushion as snug as any cat. Snug means comfortable. He used to sit on that cushion very comfortably. The old man was very hardworking. He used to go to his farm, rice farm, and work on the field from sunrise to sunset. Muku used to follow his master all the way from home to the field, and he would not harm the heron, heron is a bird which following the steps of old man for the worms. Old man was also very kind and generous. He turned up the sod with his spade and in order to feed those birds. Turned up means dug up the soil. Sod means the soil under the grass, so that the birds could get the worms, and the old man used to feed those birds also. The old man and the dog both were very kind. One day, the dog very playfully and very energetically come to his master. He was coming to and fro and motioned towards some direction, and he took his master to some place and began to scratch the soil very lively. So the old man thought that it must be some dead fish or a bone. So he stuck his spade into the soil, and to his surprise, what he saw there, it was gold gleaming out of the earth. It was gold gleamed out of this soil. Gleamed means shone or glittered. That day, the old man became very rich. He arranged feast for his neighbors, and he also gave away to his poor neighbors. In the same village, there lived a wicked old man who was neighbor of this good old man. This wicked old man and his wife were very cruel and were very unkind and insensitive to a dog. Whenever a dog passed by to their house, they used to kick and they used to beat that dog very badly. This cruel, greedy old couple also wanted to try their luck. As they listened how their neighbor's dog caused them a good fortune, they also wanted to try their luck. So they coaxed the dog, means coaxed means enticed or persuaded the dog with fish and other dainties. What is dainties? Tasty food. They offered the dog tasty food and they persuaded him to their home. But the dog was afraid and he neither moved nor ate that food. They dragged the dog out of their house and The dog went to pine tree and began scratching very lively, as if it were mighty treasure. This greedy, covetous old man and his wife were very happy, and they went there with their spade and hoe and began to dug up the earth. But to their disappointment, they got nothing but a dead kitten whose horrible smell made them drop their spade and hoe and made them even more angry on the dog. The furious old man has beaten that dog to its death, and the old woman, the crone means old woman, wife of that old man, old woman, nearly chopped off his head with her hoe, and they flung the dog into the ditch and heap up the soil onto the carcass of that dog. Carcass means dead body. They killed the dog. The kind old man come to know about the death of his beloved Muku, beloved dog. So he went to that pine tree and set bamboo sticks and flowers onto his tomb, and he also burned some incense sticks, and he mourned very loudly. He as if he had lost his own child. He was crying and calling his dog by dear names as if he were alive. That night, the spirit of the dog appeared to the old man's dream, and he told that to cut down the tree and make a mortar to make rice pastry and hand mill for bean sauce. Mortar means a bowl. According to dream, the old man went to the tomb and he cut down that pine tree and made mortar and a hand mill out of that pine tree. And on the New Year's Eve, the old man wanted to make rice pastry and bean sauce. So he take out that mortar and began to pound. Pound means crush and grind. Began to pound rice. And what he saw, the mass of the rice turned into gold. And the old woman was grinding the bean sauce, and this bean sauce was the gold was falling like rain from this hand mill. So this greedy, covetous, wicked old couple was spying on this good old man, and they saw that they are getting gold out of this mortar, magical mortar. So next day they borrowed the mortar from old man, and as soon as they tried to grind and pound the rice, from the first blow it turned into worms, heap of worms. So angrily they chop off the mortar, burnt it to ashes. That day the dog again appeared into the dream of the old man, and he told that how the wicked old man destroyed his mortar and how he burnt it to ashes. He told the old man to bring that ashes, and when he sprinkle the ashes, it will make the withered tree. Withered means dry and bare. So it make the withered tree bloom with blossom. As told by the dog, the old man went to his neighbor and humbly asked him to give him ashes. Though the wicked couple turned up their noses at him, means turning their noses means treated him with contempt, with anger. They allowed him to take the ashes. So the old man took ashes into the basket and went to his home. After returning home, the old man took his wife to the garden and sprinkled a pinch of ash to the withered cherry tree. As soon as he sprinkled the ashes, it bloomed the cherry tree. Everyone gathered there to see the wonder. Next day, the daimyos or their landlord were about to pass by their highway. So the old man come to know, and he climbed up to the tree on the side of the way, and he waited there for his daimyo's arrival. There was a custom, there was a tradition. Whenever their daimyos or a landowner, a wealthy landowner, were passing by, everyone has to bow down, and all the people along the road would fall upon their hands and knees and remain prostrate. What is prostrate? Prostrate means lying on the ground and facing downward. So they have to remain prostrate position, prostrate. The man who was ahead of the procession, who was shouting and calling others to bend down, he saw old man climbed onto the tree, but as he saw this aged man, he ignored him, and train or the procession continued. When the daimyos was approached nearby, the old man sprinkled a pinch of ash to the withered cherry tree, and it blossomed in a moment. The daimyos came out of his palanquin. Palanquin means royal van or cart, to see wonderful magic. Delighted daimyos means that landowner gave that old man many rewards. He gave them silk robes, sponge cake, and many other rewards, and invited the old man to his home. The old man went gleefully to his home. Gleefully means happily. So the old man went happily to his home to share his joy with his wife. The wicked man heard of this, and he also took the ashes and climbed up the tree and waited for the procession and waited for the daimyos to come. When the daimyos was exactly under him, he took the handful of ashes and threw over the daimyos head, and the wind blew the fine particle of dust into the eyes and nose. This made sneezing, and all procession was spoilt. The daimyos and his wife was sneezing, and the all pomp and the dignity of that procession were spoilt. So the angry guard or the person who was in front of the procession and called his name, "Get down, old fool," and he seized the old fool by the collar, and seized means caught. He caught that old man's collar and dragged him from the tree, tumbled him and his ash basket to the ditch, and beated him soundly and throw him into the ditch to death. So in this way, this wicked man died into that ditch, and the friend of dog, this kind old man, dwelt in peace and plenty. Yes, both he and his wife lived to a green old age. Here, green means healthy, active, prosperous life. In this way, the kind old man lived a happy, long, prosperous life. So this was all for today. Hope you liked the video. If you do like the video, please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. Stay connected and keep evolving with the knowledge of English language. Thank you.